Ladies and gentlemen, it is my supreme and abject pleasure to introduce to you South Florida's Mr. Folk, Michael Stock. Somebody forget to turn the applause sign on for our studio audience. It's our first show. We still haven't worked out all the kinks yet.
Thank you, Allan. And welcome to New Traditions. My name is Michael Stock, as Edgar Allan Poe, my faithful co-host, had described. New Traditions is the first in the series of shows presented by Cable Tap exclusively for our Dade County viewers who have cable TV. A show where we feature traditional music or arts in a new light. And one of the requirements for our guests is to play something new and original, hence the title, New Traditions. So welcome everybody to our first show, and I might as well introduce my co-host, local performer, actor, Edgar Allan Poe IV. Is that accurate, Allan?
Edgar Allan Poe IV?
Oh, that you are an actor or performer.
Yes, yes, that is true.
Good. And what will you bring to our show? I have you as a co-host. I'd like to see, do you have anything special to say?
Well, I thought we'd do a few news briefs. Let's see. A news brief here. Of course, you've heard about this. This is a folk show, so I'm going to try to make them related to folk music, of course.
Okay. Our news brief by Edgar Allan Poe.
Now, you know, of course, about the cyanide scare with the grapes and the apples. Yeah, you do, yes, okay. So, let's face it, those into folk music, let's say folk music sort of caters to the sort of folky, vegetarian, crunchy granola type crowd. And, you know, for a long time, people like us have known that it's not just apples and grapes we have to worry about. Well, if anything, this scares focused attention on the fact that all fruits and vegetables are laced with toxic pesticides, well, except for two, California raisins and okra. Now, unfortunately, the raisins remained unpoisoned because pesticide spraying was not in their contract. As for okra, farmers found long ago that this particular vegetable need not be sprayed because insects refuse to eat it anyway.
What does this have to do with New Traditions, Allan?
Well, I just explained that, Mike.
Well,
it's a folk
besides
show.
That, this show is on Cable Tap, and we do not air this live, so any news programs you do, any news stories you do will probably not be relevant by the time this gets aired.
Oh, really? So I could do any news story I want, huh? Just like the best of the news from the last couple of years. And who knows when this show is aired?
That's true. Okay, well, anyway.
Coming up next...
well, anyway, we do have guests on today's show, which I should have mentioned already. The guests, local performers, Amado Rafael, who has been here in the United States since 1980, came over in the Cuba Mariel boat lift. And also on the show is Gary Wilson, who's a local radio producer, comedy writer, and magician, amongst other things.
Perhaps the Mariel boat lift could be my next news story for the next show.
Sure.
Yeah.
Allan will be co-host on this show for the next 3 programs at least, as we see how his news stories improve over the shows. And the show gets aired every week at the same time. Let's start with my first guest, Amado. Hi.
Hello, how are you, Mike?
Good. So you've been here since 1980 in Miami?
Yeah.
State.
Well, not in Miami exactly. When I came, I just, first I went to Chicago and I spent a few months in there. I didn't like the weather, so I get back to Miami. And
have you always had music with you?
No, I started making music in 1980 when I came here.
No kidding. Well, yeah. What inspired you to start?
Well, I guess, you know, feelings well, for everything you left behind. And somebody gave me a guitar in Chicago, a girlfriend I used to have in there. And she said, just keep it, because I was starting playing in there. I used to play children's songs. I used to play for a children's theater in Cuba a long time ago.
Uh-huh.
And
Is that what you did in Cuba?
yeah, I was an actor.
Oh, okay.
An actor, and I work in children's theater and theater for all kind of audiences.
Do you have an original song? Do you write original songs?
Yeah, I write my own songs. That's the way I learned playing the guitar, writing my songs. I don't know how to play any other song but mine.
Oh, great. Well, let's hear a sample.
Okay. Well, this song I'm going to play is named, by the way, the line I follow in my music is some kind of social matters. This song, for example, is named Homo sapiens. It's talking about the human people. They, instead being growing up, sometimes we're going back in the history because we are fighting with each other and having problems. So I call this anti-evolution. That's what I call it. El hombre que se arrastra por la vida esconde sus problemas en la sonrisa herida. Ese hombre es prisionero de verdades, esclavo de sus reglas y absurdas sociedades. El hombre que pelea con su amigo acepta mansamente lo que hace el enemigo. Ese hombre se fragmenta y se envilece, se vende otro en pedazos y se desaparece. Homo sapiens, Homo sapiens, qué falso suena el nombre que te has dado. Homo sapiens, Homo sapiens, mis átomos te acusan de fraudados. El hombre que ha creído ser hermoso se pudre y se convierte en alguien tenebroso. Ese hombre que se cree que es un gigante, de amor es un enano y en vida es un farsante. El hombre fue creado con ternura y hoy dispone la muerte desde la sombra oscura. Ese hombre del que hablo muestra ira cuando digo verdades que aplastan su mentira. Homo sapiens, Homo sapiens, que falso suena el nombre que te has dado. Homo sapiens, Homo sapiens, mis átomos te acusan defraudados.
Boy, that was great. What did it mean?
Huh? Well, it's talking about a lot of different matters about people, you know, people that they think they are giants and they are just little kids, and they don't know what love means, and they are just, how do you say, fooling around and trying to make others believe that they are doing great things and they are not.
So let me get this straight. You said you only play your own songs. You never learned any other song by anybody?
Well, I tried once, about 15 years ago. I tried to play a few Beatles songs, and I did it. I played it, but I couldn't sing it. I was in Cuba at that time. My English was almost nothing, and I just tried to sound like, you know, phonetically.
You got the yeahs in there,
and I have a couple of songs that they're in mind, but I don't like to play them. Right now I have more than 200 songs of my own.
Amado, do you get it? Where do you normally play these songs?
Okay, we're doing, I have an organization that's named Trova Cubana del Exilio.
What does that mean?
Okay, this is a group of troubadours, that Cuban troubadours, that we make our own songs, and we try to keep our musical roots. We play some kind of music, social matters, romantic ballads, but trying to keep the best of our folkloric music, folk music.
Mm-hmm.
And then the organization has a little coffee house in Miami Beach, where we get together every Saturday at 11 o'clock after everybody finish their duties. Some people sing in commercial places. Some people go to galleries and theater or whatever. When they finish, we get together at 11 o'clock in the coffee house and we sing, we play music.
This club is open to the public?
Well, it's not open to the public. The way we work is people make a donation at the entrance.
Mm-hmm.
It's not open exactly to the all kind of people, you know, because what happens is we don't sell drinks or we don't sell foods in there. We give it for free. And what happens is if somebody get in there and they're a real good drinker, we are in trouble. So we don't are really open. You know, we are open to the public. You know, it's something that people interested can go over there. And you know, when somebody show up, as soon as you see it, you can know if the kind of people can be with us.
Sounds like Club New a little. Were those clubs, you know, where they?
Hardly.
Club 54 was
that
New York?
It's a real small place.
Do most people who go there play an instrument? There's a jamming type atmosphere?
Yeah, or they are artists, or they are actors.
Tell you what, Amado, what we'll do, that's at the end of the show, we'll show an address and a telephone number where people interested can get in touch with you.
Mm-hmm.
And so at the end of the program, we'll have an address and phone number for the people at home.
But let me explain something. We are getting together in the coffee house, people from all Latin American music. Even some people play folkloric music from Brazil, Venezuela, Chile, Panama, all the countries. And right now I'm inviting some people that can play some kind of American folk music
Oh,
too.
excellent, excellent.
Because America is part of America.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I like that concept. How about another song? You have one of your 200 songs.
Well,
let's hear number 198.
Yeah, this is not 199
Something
now.
fresh.
The one I'm gonna play. This one is named Son of Miami. Son is spelled the same as son. You know, my son, my little son.
That's S-O-N. Okay.
It's S-O-N, but in Spanish means song. But it's some kind of music in Cuban song.
Song.
Son is what people call salsa right now. But at the beginning, the real name was son. It's a folk. It's a traditional music in Cuba. It's not folkloric. It's traditional.
Okay.
And it's named Son of Miami. I talk about Cubans in Miami, what they do after 30 years in the United States. I say that they are Americans, but they don't like what's going on in Cuba because things like that, you know. You wanna do some fusion? Let's do some fusion. That sounds good. Un día me preguntaron lo que hacían los cubanos, que de Cuba se marcharon y ahora son americanos. Yo di que hacemos lo mismo, sin dormir sobresaltados, sin estar todos atados al yugo del fidelismo. Tomamos café caliente, jugamos al dominó. Hablamos con el de frente y podemos decir que no. No queremos un gobierno que maltrate a los cubanos, que es la caldera en el infierno de los derechos humanos. Y nos vamos por la mañana a cumplir nuestro trabajo. Nos gusta mucho el relajo, la playa y la vida sana. Tenemos lo que queremos y para eso trabajamos. Nuestro amor no se lo damos a quien no se lo merece. No exportamos socialismo para conseguir grandeza. Y criticamos la pobreza de Cuba con su marxismo. Ya ven que hacemos lo mismo, sin dormir sobresaltados y sin estar todos atados al yugo del fidelismo. Son de Miami, oye, son los cubanos, mira. Son de Miami, que somos latinoamericanos. Como dice, son de Miami, oye, son los cubanos, pero qué rico mi son de Miami. Latinoamericanos, mira, son de Miami, son Puerto Rico, son Venezuela, son de Panamá, que son de Ecuador, que son de Bolivia, son y de Brasil, que son los cubanos, son de Miami, que somos hermanos. Oye, oye, son de Miami, son.
All right.
Yeah, I appreciate you inviting me to jam with you, but I never play unless I play with Mr. Stock here.
I see.
So,
We have
can-
something.
We could play
I
with
I was
you.
missing some
Would-
congas and some claves.
Would you like us to, you know, put two of us together to jam with you?
Oh yeah, why not?
Next show.
Next show. Said the wrong thing. I thought we, I thought we went over this before the show.
Our next guest is Gary Wilson. Before we talk about our next guest, I do want to mention about a special ongoing thing we have here with New Traditions. I'm going to be wearing T-shirts during the program, every show, and I like, for instance, this T-shirt. I want to show my T-shirt, and this is the Philadelphia Folk Festival T-shirt, where it's actually not a pretty shirt, but can you see that? Let me get up a little bit here. No? Okay, well, anyway.
That's a funny looking T-shirt.
It's a funny, no, there's
there it
Amado. No. You can't get it. Ah. Oh, well.
Here,
Anyway.
let's look at my T-shirt.
Can you see
I
Allan's
got a good
T-shirt?
T-shirt. Here we go.
Yeah, well,
See?
that's
There we
okay.
go.
All right. Well, this is the Philadelphia
blue,
T-shirt,
there
the
you go.
blue shirt.
Chicago Blues. Here.
What I would like to do is get T-shirts from the communities, a local event, whether it be a dated event, some art festival, and we'll wear it on the show. What an exciting idea that is.
Right.
Wearing the T-shirt on the show, and then that way I guess I could also build up my T-shirt collection, but, well, you know, while you're at it, throw in a jacket as well.
And I could use some new pants, actually. These are getting a little frayed.
I would like to know, Allan, what the Chicago Bears have to do with New Traditions.
It's not
and folk
Chicago
music.
Bears, it's Chicago Blues.
Chicago Blues. Oh, the
It's
blues.
got nothing to do with
Okay.
blues.
I
is
blues,
But
From my
speaking of
day.
sending in clothes, Mike, I think you should mention you need some shoes.
Well,
Mike's not
that's-
wearing any shoes under
It's
here.
not important, Allan.
Mike, I volunteer. I'm gonna send you a few of my
Oh,
T-shirts
that
from my
sounds
organization. so
great,
you
Amado.
can,
Well, there's an address at the end of the program that you could see at the closing credits, an address to send your T-shirts, and yours too. Next on the program is Gary Wilson. Gary is a local personality, I imagine. It's like Amado. You
Something like that, yeah.
you do a show called Pandemonium. You write for that on the
Yeah,
radio.
that's on WLRN every Wednesday night at midnight. We've been doing this every week since 1984. We've been doing it on the radio since 1979 here. So
That's a lot of writing.
That's a lot of writing. Yes, we have what we like to call a comedy commune or comedy collective. It's about 7 or 8 people who regularly contribute to this show.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a lot of fun doing that, and we recommend anybody with insomnia be, up and
That's
listening
Wednesday
to that
nights
show.
at
Wednesday
midnight.
nights at midnight.
On WLRN, I have a special
Right.
place in my heart for WLRN.
I bet you do, yeah.
I'll tell you what, let's hear an original tune by Gary Wilson.
Well, all right, Michael. Compared to Amado here, I haven't written too many tunes. I've actually written 2 and parodied 3 or 4, so that's not a whole lot. However, I am from that group of folk singers that is trying desperately to break out of the country granola mold. In fact, the only reason we ended up playing in folk clubs and everything, I should clarify this, with a group called Jabberwocky for about 3 years. There were 4 people in the group, Val Caracappa, Mitch Mistel, and Wes Malkin. And we played almost completely comedy music. Very hard to break into the disco clubs. It's hard to break into Club New with that kind of thing and everything. And we just barely qualify for folk music. So we were happy at least the folk scene has put up with us and even treated us pretty good for quite a while now.
So Gary, what song are you going to play?
What song am I going to play after that lengthy introduction? This is a song I wrote a couple of years ago. No particular reason, just a strange idea that came to me. This is about a new, exciting vacation land that all the trendiest people are going to be going to this year. Wait a minute.
Is that song number one?
We
198 more, you'll be caught up to Armado here. If they're that short, it shouldn't be too taking.
How about another?
He's in number 2 already. He's in number 2.
This is number 2 here.
Okay, number 2. Once again, from the top.
Sounds a lot like the first one, doesn't it?
Each year on our vacation with wife and kids I go to some exotic spot where we've never been before. We swam the English Channel, skydived in Ecuador. We skied the Himalayas, which we found to be a bore. But now we found a place we think will be just swell. This year on our vacation, we're gonna go to hell. We were just bewitched by the brochures that we got. I said, hun, get the camera, this place looks pretty hot. Let's take the kids and dog down to the Stick So Black and buy a bumper sticker marked we've been to hell and back. And hop aboard a boat there, cruise a fiery bog, filled with screams and screeches, think that's where we lost the dog. We swam in a lake of brimstone, tanned by a fiery abyss. Saw shows at the club Inferno where the demons writhe and twist. Saw sinners bob in a lava pit, saw hellhounds on the run, but didn't see the imps who took our daughter and our son. When we finally got the kids back, we'd had to use an axe. We knew the time had come to put our feet up and relax. Check in at the Hades Hilton, your bed's as warm as toast, and soon you'll have no doubt just who the devil is your host. At the end there's hell to pay, we pay and do not shout, because it is well worth the cost of getting the hell out. So if you think you've seen it all and no place suits you well, take the wife, the kids, the dog, and everybody go to hell.
My, I didn't know he'd be talking dirty on this show.
Is that a word I should have avoided?
That was a pleasant song, Gary.
Could have said Hades.
I don't know, I just had this vision of a guy, you know, in Bermuda shorts and a shirt somewhat like I'm wearing here, and a lot of cameras, you know, with his wife and kids walking around in hell checking out the sights, you know.
Was it anybody in particular you were thinking about when you wrote the song? Or just...
No, unlike Dante, I didn't really populate my hell, I think.
No.
Well, as far as vacation spots go, it's like South Florida, and it's always warm down
Very
there, right?
similar,
Yeah.
very similar. That may have inspired it, too. I wrote it in a hot South Florida summer. My other original songs, for what they are unfortunately topical and outdated at this time.
But that's okay. We don't know when the show.
That's
The people
okay.
watching the thing.
We don't know what
We
the
are in
show's
a
at.
time
It's like my
warp here,
news
it's
briefs.
okay.
Talk about any topical thing you want.
Before you play one of those other topical songs, I would like to ask you about your career, actually. You are a magician, right?
Well, yeah, I work as a street performer. I can be seen at fine malls near you. I also perform at birthday parties for children, also adult parties.
Wait, what's the difference between a children's party and an adult party?
Alcohol.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't sing that song about the H-E double toothpick.
Actually,
That's it, huh?
when we do a party like that, I work with a partner who does face painting, and she does face painting, I do magic, music, whatever it takes to keep the little types
Okay,
in use.
you said it was topical, but I would, you know, let's pretend this is the time when that song was written.
When the song was
Can you do a short
which one of these?
song?
Okay, yeah, okay.
Do a short one.
I'll do another original, not one of my parodies. This one was written, about 1.5 years, 2 years ago during the Reagan administration. And it's a song about drug testing, urinalysis, things like that, which subject that I got real interested in. In fact, we started a campaign on the Pandemonium Show urging our listeners and their friends to send a specimen to the president because there's a noticed urine gap in our country's urine supplies, and there was a lot of concern up there in Washington. We suggested that you wrap up a little sample and send it to the president. No return address is necessary.
Just wrap it up in tissue paper, right?
Sure, sure. You know,
put it in the glass bottle
I actually
first.
read that there was a college out in California that some 300 students actually sent specimens. I had nothing to do with
Gary,
that, but I wish I had.
You have less than 2 minutes to sing the
I'm
song.
sorry. Okay.
Do it double time.
Well, if I have less than 2 minutes, I'm going to do a short one then here.
Yeah, do a real short one.
I can't do my urinalysis song, huh? Okay. All right. This is about Supreme Court nominee Douglas Ginsburg. I know you all remember that. This is sort of tied in with that other subject because he got kicked off of the nomination for using pot sometime when he was in college, and this is sort of his point of view. This is called Bye Bye Ginsburg. I brought the words because...
You have 1 minute, Gary.
Go, go.
Got myself in a pinch, going back to the bench. Bye bye Ginsburg. Got caught up by some pot, not a lot, chances shot. Bye bye Ginsburg. No one at my age could help avoid it. Sad we can't admit that we enjoyed it. On the court, I'd reign supreme. Up in smoke goes my dream. Ginsburg, bye bye.
Gee, first it was a dirty song, now a drug song.
What a wonderful selection of songs, Gary. Well, this program is New Traditions. We're here every week at the same time. Actually, we're here a few times during the week. Check your schedule. We're on Educational Channel 2. My name is Michael Stock, and this is Edgar Allan Poe, and thanks for tuning in to New Traditions, Edgar Allan Poe IV. I'll tell you what, let's end the show with all jamming. How about that? Let's all get our instruments.
Well,
And then,
let's see if we are in tune.
Let's see we're in tune.
So we can play this in
Am I in tune
the
with you
key of
guys?
S.
Okay, we're going to play. Any suggestions? Okay, I'll take the lead. Here we go.
That's a
Ready?
nice song.
Okay, here we go.
Key up.